Hey there everyone, have you ever wanted to learn about brush lettering with face paint? We're going to do that today. This video is brought to you by Face Paint Forum Shop. I'm your artist rep Lily. Let's get started. So here I've got some watercolor paper and I just wanted to show you, this is my practice sheet. Now you're seeing this is actually watercolor paint here on this particular sheet where I practiced. But you are welcome to use face paint. We're going to do that today. So I just wanted to show you the potential. So here I've got my watercolor paper. When you're deciding on watercolor paper, I will always recommend 140 pound watercolor paper. This one is on the cheaper end. It's not as expensive. For the entire block it's about $18-20, but if you've got any other watercolor paper laying around, you're welcome to use that or your practice board. So here I've got my Low Cornell Run number 3 along with my Superstar palette that I've put together myself. Now the key to watercoloring is lots of water. So we're gonna take this is Brilliant Blue, and I'm going to bring the water using my brush to the top case of that palette there. Now what I'm looking for is a very watery consistency. I'm not going crazy. I'm not just pouring it on, but I'm looking for it to be watery enough, not where it's dripping off of the brush, but just enough. And as you attempt this, you'll definitely get a handle on it and figure out what's the right amount. So here we're going to start. Now the key to brush lettering, as I've found, is the only rule really is when you are attempting to go up with a letter, it's going to be a thin line. As you come down, you're going to create a thicker line. So that's the key to brush lettering. Again, we're going up, so it's going to be thin. Coming down, I'm pushing harder, and it's going to be a thicker line. Now, if you're wondering about the other letters of the alphabet, because this is just a quick video just to introduce you to it, to another alternative of using your face paint during downtime, you can Google. I would recommend Googling brush lettering practice sheet, and it's going to come up with many images. You can take whichever alphabet you like the most and just practice using that reference photo. So here I didn't like how thin it was, so I'm going to push down, make it just a little more thick. The wonderful thing about watercoloring, quote unquote, with face paint is that it's pretty forgiving. If you want to fix something, it's pretty easy to do so. I just wanted to show you the watercolor against the face paint. It is a little different, but the more water you add, the more you practice, the more you just have fun with this. You'll learn many more techniques as you go. It's kind of a natural progression as you're practicing more and more. And here we're going to do another word that you are all absolutely familiar with. And so as you can see, I'm adding water. I just keep adding water. And I'm not worried that the paint is going to lose its vibrancy. I'm not worried at all. Now it did break it down. You can see that the color is a tad lighter than the original Brilliant Blue here in my palette. But it doesn't really bother me that much. You can do this with any of these colors. You could do it with black as well if you want. There are so many ideas and that you could use for this. You could water this down, create an entire background of color, whatever your favorite colors are, and then wait for it to dry and then go on top with your black face paint and create any sort of lettering or words or anybody's name that you particularly are fond of. So there are so many more variations that you could use this particular technique with face paint. And you can use any brand. It doesn't have to be Superstar. You can use Diamond Effects, whatever you have. FacePaintForumShop.com has an assortment. Right now we've got a lot of sales going on, so check that out. Take advantage and put your order through. FacePaint Forum Shop also gives you freebies. So with every order you get a free stencil along with other freebies that we may be having depending on the month. So alrighty, and so as you watch me paint here, this isn't perfect. What I wanted to let you know is you can see the lily on top is straight. It's going from left to right, straight across. Now that's how you want to begin practicing. I recommend practicing that straight across because when you're brush lettering, it's not writing. It really is, it's drawing. You're more drawing than you are writing, and you'll learn that as you go. So once you're learning, beginning to learn, you want to go straight across. As you get more confident and you learn a lot more about using this kind of technique, then you can bounce the letters up and down, is what I did with the word face paint. I kind of bounced, the letters are not all level. It just makes it a little more fun. But as you practice and have fun with this, using face paint and other alternative means is like so much fun. Your kids can practice as well with you. I wanted to show you the amount of water I'm using here, just so you have an idea. Alrighty, and I did want to show you how you could use this on the job. And I've done this for a long time. Now this is the Diva one stroke from Party Explosion. I did use it in another video. I've got my 3/4 magic wand brush here from FacePaint Forum Shop. So I'm going to go ahead and load this and show you what you could potentially use on the job as face paint. Now, if you want to learn any kind of other lettering, block lettering that you want your kids to, have fun and practice with, just Google it. Google block lettering practice sheet, and there's going to be many images on all sorts of handwriting for you to practice off of. So here we go. I'm just using this one stroke and creating enough space for a particular name that I'll be using here. So that's the only thing really with this particular design is keeping an eye on what name am I using. If it's going to be Lily, which is a short name, or the little girl's name is Caitlin, that's much longer. So just paying attention to how long or short the name is, then you'll be able to gauge how short or long you want that one stroke background to be. So now I'm using my DFX black, loading my Low Cornell round number 3, of course. I'm just going to move this magic wand brush out of the way for a second. And so this, in my opinion, is, I guess you could call it sort of a graffiti style of a design. But kids love seeing their name or the name of a loved one. And so this is actually an option on my design board at work. And it's so incredibly fast because of the one stroke ability to just, it's so absolutely quickly done. And it has that wow factor for the people watching. And then you just add your lettering. Now with this design you can add stars. I add these little graffiti type stars, dots. You're always able to use any kind of stencil that you prefer. And then adding glitter, if it's a girl, if it's a boy and he likes glitter, glitter it up. And that's the end of the design. Now I'm going to show you on a practice board. This is the Sparkling Faces practice board. We have many available at facepaintforumshop.com, so check us out. Here I'm just going to reload my magic wand brush. And so as you saw, the name before Jessie is not very long, and it's not too short. So I'm going to decide where I want this name to go. Again, I'm using the Diva one stroke from Party Explosion. Alrighty, we'll put that aside. Now we're going to do the lettering here. So, like I said, any kind of lettering you're interested in, just Google it, whether it's block lettering, calligraphy, brush lettering, and just put in practice sheet. Google's going to come up with many of assortment of practice sheets, so you'll have the whole alphabet there for you to work on. And here, as you can see, I'm taking my time and making this name as, as precise as possible. I'm going to show you an image here soon about an on-the-job one I did. And I absolutely love line work and lettering. And I just kind of went a little nuts with it. I go really, really fast on the job. And I just, bounce those letters and just have a lot of fun with that line work. And you'll be able to see that even going quickly and it does look pretty organic. So I just really love the rushed look, especially with names. Alrighty, and that would be the end of your design. You're able to put glitter on top, on bottom, wherever you see fit, whatever favorite color, because I do ask the kiddos, what's your favorite color? And then I'll choose any one stroke that I have. And just make sure that that one stroke that you use as a background, that it is light enough. You don't want to use a real dark blue or dark purple if you're going to be using black for the lettering. So it is much easier to use black as lettering on top of a background. So just make sure that that one stroke that you're using for the background is pretty light. Alrighty, so this is the finished piece. Very, very quickly on the job. It's super popular with kiddos of all ages, young and older teens, even parents. You could even add the letter I and a heart. I love, and then they can choose their favorite person. Alrighty guys, now here is the one I did on the job. Her name was Caitlin. It was her birthday and she loved the color orange. So she was super happy with this piece. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I hope these tips help.